Taylor Swift is going on tour, the sixth word that many of her fans have been waiting to hear. But some people on social media have indicated that either timing conflicts, they're getting married next year, or have other plans for vacation that might, kind of go in the same line as the Taylor Swift concerts. I wanted to bring in travel expert and headliner, Chicago friend Jeanenne Tornatore, to give us an insight. Thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, always great to be here.
So, is there already a shortage of hotels next summer, or is there already a super high demand for hotel rooms?
Well, I don't think a lot of people are already booking their summer vacations quite this far out. I think we're going to start to see demand grow for those summer vacations once we get into the new year and people really start thinking that far ahead. That said, when you have major concerts put out their schedules, like the coming Taylor Swift concert, you're going to see immediate demand around those weekends when those concerts are here. Same thing always happens with Lollapalooza, right? As soon as that, comes out, who the headliners are, what the dates are, everything gets booked up pretty immediately. So, obviously a show like Lollapalooza is a much larger scale, tends to sell out the city. Taylor Swift, smaller venue, obviously slightly smaller show. So I don't think you're going to see the city sell out. There's going to be really high demand, especially for the great properties in the city.
Oh, exactly. I mean, if you have your heart set on a specific property or a specific location, you probably want to get those sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. So you kind of mentioned this idea of like people that maybe are planning weddings for those weekends. And look, if you are looking at a specific venue and a specific property where unrelated to the concert, you want to have your own event, your own wedding, you're going to need a block of rooms. You want to get on that and book that as soon as possible, because there's no guarantee that especially those popular, fun boutique hotel properties aren't going to sell out soon.
So let's talk a little bit about, maybe some of those people who might say, I want to block off a certain amount of room for my guests. Is there any suggestion as far as like maybe looking at two hotels? You may not get everybody in one hotel because of Taylor Swift playing in your city, but it could not be Taylor Swift. It could be Lollapalooza. It could be, any other event going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I would say number one, as soon as you know the date for your event, whether it's a wedding or another big event where you are going to need a block of rooms, is do it as soon as possible. Because like you said, you never know when there may be another show, something big happening that all of a sudden comes on the schedule that you weren't expecting. So do it as soon as possible. But yeah, sometimes you do have to get creative, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, if you're hosting an event, holding some rooms at a couple of different hotels. But again, also you want to make sure that you get the information out to your guests as soon as possible so they can make those reservations. When there are huge events like this in town where hotels know that they can sell out, they're going to hold that, reasonable block of rooms for you for your event for a certain amount of time. But if it doesn't book up, they may say they need to let those rooms go at some point. So make sure that you're getting your information out to your guests so they can book as soon as possible.
As far as pricing goes, obviously you look at things like New Year's Eve and St. Patrick's Day weekend and, 4th of July weekend, some of those high in demand weekends and dates that, rooms are obviously a little bit more expensive. But does the hotel industry look at Lollapalooza, Taylor Swift's coming to Chicago, and do the prices kind of go up because of events like that?
They certainly do. Absolutely. Especially for those big event weekends. I mean, this is how hotels make their money. They're able to raise their rates based on demand for a lot of these major events. Lollapalooza is a great example. You could look the weekend before Lollapalooza, find a rate at a hotel, say for $150 a night. That's probably going to be $300 a night over Lollapalooza weekend. It's all based on demand, how these hotels and even airlines really kind of play with their revenue, right? And make sure that they're pricing things based on what they think demand is going to be. So when you do have a major event like a Taylor Swift concert coming into town, we just saw this for Harry Styles, you're going to see that most hotels will adjust their rates based on what they think they can do.
So let's just say, obviously fingers crossed, I want to get to the Taylor Swift concert here at Soldier Field, but, she has two dates. I'm assuming she's going to add a couple of more. I mean, fingers crossed, there's enough space in between the cities that I think couple more dates are going to be added. But if I don't get tickets here, obviously she's playing in other cities. Are you seeing that hotel prices are kind of going in line of what we're seeing in Chicago as far as if you want to go to Vegas or LA?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, these major cities, they look at what these big events are that are coming into town. And again, they're going to adjust their rates based on that. Like, here's what I recommend you do. Even if obviously tickets haven't been on sale yet for the Taylor Swift concerts this summer, but if you are, vying for one of those tickets and you think you're going to get one, book your hotel room now. Pay a little bit extra for the refundable rate. Sometimes that may be 30 or 40 bucks extra to make sure that you get a refundable rate versus a non-refundable rate. So at least you can have that hotel in place. And then if for some reason your plans change or you're not able to get tickets, you can obviously cancel that hotel room. But the sooner you book those other details other than your event tickets, the better off you're going to be.
We're right before the holidays, and a couple of holiday questions. In years past, I've gotten hotel rooms on Black Friday deals or Cyber Monday deals. Are we seeing that trend possibly come back again for this year, and might we be able to use that for these Taylor Swift concerts?
Yeah, well, when we have Black Friday sales, we see with all kinds of retailers and Cyber Monday, that absolutely is a great time to look at booking travel as well. We see across the board travel brands always offering some kind of discounts or deals or promo codes that you can use. They always are for a limited time, but they usually allow you to book travel that is further out in the year. You just have to book it, either that day, or they usually give you a week or two to think about your travel plans and take advantage of those deals. So if you are thinking about the Taylor Swift concert or any other specific travel that you want to make in 2023, get on it on Black Friday. I would actually say go on a lot of these travel sites in the next week, because sometimes they're not on that specific day. They open it up a little broader for those couple of weeks around that Thanksgiving timeframe to take advantage of these deals.
Now, as far as, some people like to gamble till the very last minute, like I may be able to find a hotel room, I may be able to find something, I may be able to fly into the city. What are you, going to say to those people? And maybe some of those, I already see you shaking your head as far as maybe waiting till the last minute to book your rooms.
Go purchase a tent. No, I mean, honestly, these types of major shows coming into town and major events are not the time you want to wait to book your travel last minute. And look, Chicago in the summer is high season anyway. So, things are already a little bit more expensive and a little bit harder to book. So the sooner you book, the better, but certainly waiting till the last minute is not the way to go. If that's the case, you may end up staying out at a hotel by the airport.
And you may not realize, especially if you're unfamiliar with the Chicagoland area.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're saying, the Taylor Swift concerts are going to be at Soldier Field, you're going to want to be right downtown, right by the museum campus, off of Michigan Avenue. In those cases, it's pretty easy to walk to some of these shows, which, can save you money as well. So staying in the heart of the city, it may cost you a little bit more for your hotel property, but at the end of the day, you're going to save on other things like transportation.
Oh, exactly. And even thinking about Chicago in the summer, I mean, end of June, you have Pride weekend, then you have 4th of July, then you've got Taste of Chicago, then you've got Windy City Smokeout, then you've got Lollapalooza. I mean, there's so many weekends where so many people are going to be coming into our city.
And look, there's never just one event happening at a time in Chicago. Like you said, the Taylor Swift concert, it's going to overlap with some of these other events. Every weekend, there's multiple things happening. So Chicago in the summer is one of those seasons when you want to start looking at hotel rooms in January, February, and book them as soon as possible. And with the Taylor Swift concert tickets going on sale, I think, very soon, even booking before they go on sale is going to be better.
Exactly, because too many people are going to be thinking the fact after, and you're going to be the smart one who does it before. Final thing I want to mention here is that, as we're just talking about her dates in early June, some people who are traveling, to our city may be coming in for Memorial Day weekend and then just staying here through that time. So you may think I'll get a room, but so many people might be blocking it to make it part of their whole summer vacation.
Yeah, look, I think a lot of people are going to be coming in town, out of town from other places for this concert. So say you're someone in Chicago and you just want to get a hotel room to stay downtown close to the event. You got to think ahead, because we saw this with the Harry Styles concert. There were so many people from Iowa, from Nebraska, from Ohio, and other places coming in for these concerts, and they were staying for longer periods of time. So, if you are someone local who is just looking at getting a hotel room, you've got to work around the fact that there are going to be people, like you said, building their summer vacations around these shows.
All right. Well, I'm going to get myself online, and hopefully I'll get some tickets. And Jeanine, if I get them, I'm bringing you and the family. So, and awesome. If you get them, you bring me too. Okay.
Deal.
TheOutsideInsider.com is where you can go ahead and go for the latest travel tips. You can also find Jeanine's social media handles on there as well. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rudy.